नमस्सर्वेभ्यः। अद्य तिङन्तप्रक्रियावर्गे धातुपाठस्य विषये अध्ययनम् आरभामहे। वेदाक्षरसमाम्नायमधिगम्यमहेश्वरात् व्याकरणं प्रोक्तं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः। वाक्यकारं वररुचिं भाष्यकारं पतञ्जलिं पाणिनिं सूत्रकारं च प्रणतोऽस्मि मुनित्रयम्। Okay, so before we start last week's exercise, okay, Kramanugunam Sutrartham Nirnita. Okay, so the krama we are following is first find out the Sutra Sankhya, Paracheda, split the words of the Sutra, Vibhakti Irdaya, decide the Vibhakti of each word so that we can understand the meaning. Adhikara, find out what words are coming from Adhikara. Anuvritti, Padartha, understand the meaning of the different words. And then finally the Sutrartha. Okay, does anybody want to volunteer? Is the audio very low? As in, or is it okay? Okay, so maybe we can start with Ravichandranji. Do you want to go first?
Yeah, I can start. First one is Kar Avasanayoho Visarjaniya. This one is 8315. The Padacheda is Kar Avasanayoho Saptami Dvijana. Visarjaniya is 1-1. Pratama Ekavachana. Adhikara is Samhitayam Padasya. Samhitayam is Saptami Ekavachana. Padasya is Shashti Ekavachana. Anuvritti is Raha. Is coming from the previous sutra. So the artha will be Samhitayam Vishaye Refantasya Padasya Khari Paratah Avasane cha Visarjaniya Adesha Bhavati.
So I think is it Padantasya Rephasya, because the
okay, I said Refantasya Padasya.
Padantasya Rephasya. The Padasya is treated as a Visheshana to Repha, because the Visarga is directly for the Repha. Repha is the Sthani. And Padasya is the Visheshana. So Yena Vidhistanantasya Padantasya Rephasya Visarjaniya Hasyat Khari Avasane Chapare Samhitayam.
Samhitayam. Okay. Since it's a Vishaya, I said Samhitayam, but I can.
Yeah, correct. Samhitayam Vishaya. That is fine.
Okay.
Yeah. So Samhita is not Parasaptami, it is the Vishaya Saptami.
So
thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Next. Nitish Chandra.
Okay. Anachicha. This is 8447. Adhikara. Anachi is in Saptami. Adhikara Purvatra Samhitayam. Anuvrittihi Achaha Yaraha Dve. Padarthaha Achaha Parasya. Achaha is in Panchami. Yaraha is in Shashti. Anachi is in Saptami.
Yeah.
So Achah Parasya Yaraha Sthane Dvestaha.
So Dvestaha Samhitayam Idam Purvatra Siddham. So everywhere we have that Adhikara Purvatra Siddham. So even in the earlier one, Idam Purvatra Siddham. Also Anachi has a Anyatarasyam from above according to Samgas. So it is Vaikalpika Dvitva.
Okay.
So yeah, Dve Vastaha. Okay, thank you. Next. Nilesh.
आमी सर्वनाम्नः सुट् 712 अस्य पदच्छेदः आम्नि सप्तमी विभक्ति प्रथम एकवचन सप्तमी विभक्ति एकवचन सर्वनाम्नः पंचमी विभक्ति एकवचन सुट् प्रथम एकवचन अत्र अङ्गस्य इति अधिकारः आत् इति अनुवृत्ति
कस्य इति अधिकारः क्षम्यताम्
अङ्गस्य
अङ्गस्य
अङ्गस्य इति अधिकारः आत् इति अनुवृत्तिः अतः अवर्णात् सर्वनाम्नः परे अङ्गस्य षष्ठी बहुवचनस्य प्रत्ययस्य सुट् आगमः भवति इति अर्थः
प्लीज रिपीट
अवर्णात् सर्वनाम्नः परे अङ्गस्य षष्ठी बहुवचनस्य प्रत्ययस्य सुट् आगमः भवति
आमः सुट् आगमः आम् प्रत्ययस्य सुट् इति आगमः
सुट् इति आगमः भवति आम् इति षष्ठी बहुवचनस्य प्रत्ययः किल
आम् इति षष्ठी बहुवचन प्रत्ययः so because there is both panchami and saptami we have ubhay nirdeshe panchami nirdesho baniya so the panchami will be sarvanamnah parasya and ami will be treated as shashti so amah so am pratyayasya sut iti agamah bhavati. So there is one thing about angadhikara. The angasya is in shashti, but it is in many cases it is also converted to panchami, as is the case. Say for example, here sarvanama is the anga, so it will be angat parasya amah. Am is the pratyaya. So you cannot have both angasya and pratyayasya because anga is different from the pratyaya. So here angasya will relate to the sarvanamnah angat parasya. Okay. Thank you. Next. Divi Sharma.
नपुंसकस्य झलचः 7172 पदच्छेदः नपुंसकस्य षष्ठी एकवचनः झलचः षष्ठी एकवचनः अधिकारः अङ्गस्य अनुवृत्तिः नुम् सर्वनामस्थाने पदार्थः नपुंसकस्य अङ्गात् झलचः सर्वनामस्थाने नुम् सूत्रार्थः नपुंसकस्य अङ्गात् झलन्तस्य अजन्तस्य च सर्वनामस्थाने परतो नुम् स्यात्.
So झलन्तस्य अजन्तस्य च नपुंसकस्य अंगस्य. See, as I said, anga. If the anga is in shashti, it will relate to the anga directly. So झलन्तस्य अजन्तस्य. झलचः is a visheshana. येन विधिस्तदन्तस्य. So झलन्तस्य अजन्तस्य च napumsakasya angasya. So an anga which is napumsakalinga and jhalanta ajanta tasya num iti agamah bhavati sarvanamasthane pare. Clear? Yeah. Do you have a question, Tishchandra?
Yes. Jalachaha is, why is it in singular ending? Jhal and achaha. Jalacho.
Yeah, I mean, it happens. I mean, you can also have it in Bahuvachana also. Is thinking that jhal is also multiple and ach is also. So it is samahara dvandva. We see that in many cases. Say vruddhi radhaich. I mean, it could have been radhaichaha because a, I, au, are vruddhi, but he puts it in samahara dvandva. So wherever we have samahara dvandva, it will be ekavachana. Or itaretara dvandva, it will be bahuvachana or whatever as the
we are treating that whole group as a single object.
Yeah, it's a samahara. So, So it doesn't make any difference in the meaning other than, I mean, just the word itself.
Okay.
Sharada?
नमस्ते जस्सोः शिः 7-1-20 जस्सोः षष्ठी द्विवचनं शिः प्रथमान्तं अधिकारः अङ्गस्य अनुवृत्तिः नपुंसकात् नपुंसकलिङ्गशब्दस्य जस् शस् विभक्तिस्थाने शि आदेशः.
So napumsakat angat parayoho jashasoho shi iti adeshah bhavati.
येङि पररूप.
Yeah, thank you. We'll try. Anybody else want to volunteer? Any other volunteers for the Sutrartha? Was it difficult? I see lesser number of people volunteering this time. Okay, Paul.
Engi Pararupam
Yeah.
is 6194. Engi Paracheda is Engi Pararupam. It's Engi is Saptami Ekavachanam, Pararupam Pratama Ekavachanam.
Yeah.
Adhikaraha is Ekaha Pratama Ekavachanam para Purva Parayoho Shashti Vivachanam.
Yeah.
Sanghitayam Saptami Ekavachanam.
Yeah.
And Anuvrittihi Upasargat Panchami Ekavachanam. Tau Saptami Ekavachanam. At Panchami Ekavachanam.
Yeah.
Should I do the padartha? Engi e o atava parataha pararupam uttara shruti. Upasargat is upasarga and datao dhatu parataha at avarnat ekaha ekadeshaha kevalatvam purva parayoho purvasya parasya dvayoho
Right.
apistane bhavati.
Correct.
Sanghitayam padao samipao avyarihitao.
Yeah. Parasanikarsha samhita. So the sutra is three samyas. One is dhatu, bhuvanayo dhatavaha, upasargaha. Upasargaha kriya yoge, samhitayam, parasanikarsha samhita. Okay. Sutrartha.
Avarnat upasargat engadau datau parataha purvaparayoho sthane pararupam ekadeshaha bhavati sanghitayam vishahe.
Yeah, very good. So avarnantad upasargat engadau dhatau. So both ena vidhistanandasya and yasmin vidhistanada valgrahane. So when it is for the purva, it will be anta tadantasya, and when it is for the para, it will be tadadi. Okay, so both have been used here. Avarnantad upasargat egadau dhatau pare purvaparayoho pararupam ekadeshah bhavati samhitaya. Okay, next. Anybody else? 4 more. No? Nobody else has tried? Okay, maybe you can have a week more because I don't have any exercise for today. So if people can try this out this week, you have 1 more week to go through the this one, and then maybe you can come back with the answers next week, those who have not tried so far. Okay, so please, spend some time on these, because at least a few minutes every day, or say probably half an hour or 1 hour 1 week, that is how you are going to learn Tinantaprakriya. Prakriya will not happen without you working on it. Okay, that's one thing which is definitely certain. Okay, very sure whatever you learn in class, unless you sit and work on it, it will be very difficult to retain it. Okay. So, and understanding the Ashtadhyayi is the first step to understanding the Prakriya of Tinantas. So please take 1 more week, and let us see next week. Okay. So now going into the actual Tinantaprakriya. Okay, starting with Tinantas. So Tinantaha, Ting ante yasya tat Tinantam. Yasya shabdaswarupasya ante Ting iti pratyayah bhavati tat Tinantam iti uchyate. Ting pratyayah sarvada dhatoh vidhiyate. प्रत्येकं पदस्य भागद्वयं भवति प्रकृतिः तथा प्रत्ययः. So there is a base or a root word, and there is a suffix. That is how we derive any word. Okay. So in case of Tigantas, the root word is the dhatu. So on the dhatu we add a pratyaya called ting to derive these words called Tigantas. So we need to know both about the dhatu and the pratyayas. Dhatuhu. को नाम धातुः इति प्रथमः प्रश्नः. भूवादयो धातवः इति सूत्रमस्ति अष्टाध्याय्यां प्रथमाध्याये तृतीयपादे प्रथमं सूत्रं. भूवादयः धातवः, भूवा आदयः धातवः इति पदद्वयमपि प्रथमाविभक्तौ. संज्ञासूत्रं, संज्ञासंज्ञयोः सर्वदा प्रथमाविभक्तिः. Always the samnya and the samni are expressed in prathama. So dhatu is the samnya being given by this sutra. Bhu va adayah. Okay. So the more common definition of dhatu is kriyavachana dhatu. Yaha shabdaha kriyam vyaparam bodhayati. Kriya is action. So those words which express action, and bhuvadayaha, those which are included in the bhadi gana. Okay, so there is a list of dhatus which is called the dhatu patha. The dhatu patha is a series of words starting from bhu. So words which are included in this gana, okay, this list, and those which convey some sort of action are called dhatus. So these are also known as the aupadeshikaha अथवा अप्रत्ययान्ताः धातवः. औपदेशिकाः नाम उपदेशेन ज्ञाताः. So Panini has given a list of dhatus, so that is how we know these dhatus. Na pratyayantaha, they do not have any pratyaya attached to them already. Okay, they are just plain words like bhu, edha, spardha, dukri, etc. Okay. So धातुपाठे पाणिनीयधातुपाठे प्रायः 2,000 धातवः सन्ति. So the number of dhatus, exact number of dhatus varies in different editions of the Dhatupatha. So there are different versions. So some have a few more, some have a few less, and so on. Approximately 2,000 is the number of dhatus in the Dhatupatha. Arthanirdesha. As we see in all Dhatupathas today, dhatus are listed along with their meanings. For example, the Dhatupatha starts with Bhu Sattayam. Bhu is a dhatu which conveys the meaning of Satta. Satta is existence. Okay? Edha Vruddhau. Edha is the second dhatu. Vruddhau, it means to grow. Spardha Sangharshe. Third dhatu is Spardha. So it is used in the sense of Sangharsha, a conflict or a competition, etc. So that is how the dhatu patha runs. There is the dhatu and there is also the artha. Arthanirdeshaha paninina krito va athava taranantaram anyena kenachit krito va iti vivadaha santi. Were the meanings indicated by Panini or by somebody else? So the most commonly accepted view is it is arvachina. It is somebody else has added the meanings to the list of dhatus. Panini just gave the list of dhatus. That is the accepted thing, but still even today we study the dhatu along with its meaning, so that we understand. Okay, so dhatu patha runs like this. There is Bhu Sattayam, Edha Vruddhau, Spardha Sangharshe, etc. So there are plain dhatu pathas with no swara markings. There are also dhatu pathas where the swaras are marked. The swara especially on the dhatu. So as you can see in Edha, the akara at the end is anudatta. Okay. The swara markings matter because they're used in many cases. If the dhatu has an anudatta swara as it, or if the anudatta is the swara remaining. So there are many karyas, okay, which depend purely on the swaras of the dhatus. So the swara of dhatu is also important in learning the prakriya. So it is better to make use of saswara dhatu patha. So I will post the links to the saswara dhatu patha in the portal. So we'll be using two base documents for the course. One is the Ashtadhyayi with the whatever the file I have posted with the Anuvratti, Adhikara, etc. And also the Dhatu Patha, the Saswara Dhatu Patha. Two files which are essential for the course. All other texts are optional. So these two things. Okay. So there is a question. Are the 2000 dhatus in Dhatu Patha ordered by some logic? Yes, I mean there is a kind of logic. First thing, they are further divided into 10 different classes based on their rupas, but even within they are arranged as so there is a varga, say kavargantaha parasmaipadinaha, kavargantaha atmanepadinaha, etc. So there is some order, but the order is not very important, as in it doesn't matter which order it is. As in, it's not like the Ashtadhyayi where if you change a sutra position, this thing will change. So which gana it is will matter, but otherwise the position of a dhatu in the dhatu patha will not matter much. Okay. So please excuse me for one moment. Yeah. So there are a few more questions. Why is it bhuvadi instead of bhadi? A common question with bhuvadayo dhatavaha. Okay. If you look at the sutras of Panini, so the adi generally refers to a gana. Like say he says sarvadiri sarvanamadi. Pradayaha kriya yoge upasarga samyaha syuh, etc. So any gana is generally referred to by the first member of the gana. So here the first member is bhu. So bhu adi should be bhvadi. Why does he have the second bhu va adayaha? Why is a second member of the gana mentioned? Okay. So this va is not. So there are two purposes. First thing, bhadi is a name which is commonly given to the first gana within these 2000 dhatus. Okay, so they all start with bhu. Right? But within the dhatus there are 10 subclasses. So we will see that later. So we call them each as there are first, second, third. So there are 10 classes. So each of them again are named by the first dhatu. So the first dhatu of the first gana is again bhadi, bhu, right? So there is bhadi, adadi, juhotyadi, etc. are the ganas. Now bhadi, so it starts with bhu. So does it go on till only the end of the first gana or till the end of the dhatu patha is one question. If he just says bhadayaha dhatavaha, so will it mean only the first gana? Bhadi is more popularly used for the first gana, dhatus of the first gana. So are only them the dhatus? No. So he adds a dhatu from the second gana, which is va. Va gati gandhanayoho is a thing which is found in the second class. So bhu va adayaha. So here it will indicate that it extends beyond the first gana to include all the 10th ganas. So by bhu adayaha here, he means all the 10 ganas. Okay, so that is one purpose for the va in the bhuvadayo dhatavaha. The second purpose is to bring out the meaning of the kriya vachanaha dhatu. Okay. In the sutra, he just says bhuvadayo dhatavaha, where it doesn't say that it has to indicate action. He does not directly mention that it has to be a kriya vachana. Kriya vachanatvam na nirdishyate sutre. Tathapi va ityasya grahanena kriya vachanatvam bodhayati paninihi. How? We know that va is a popular, it is used as a dhatu. There is vati, vataha vanti. Say vayu is derived from it. To blow. That is va. Okay. So there is also the more popular va, which is used in the sense of or. Right? So Ramaha Krishnaha va. So va is also a vikalparthakam avyayam. So arthadvayam asti tatra kaha arthaha svikaraniyaha. So are both of them dhatus? If you just say bhuvadayo dhatavaha, vikalparthe yaha va shabdaha tasyapi dhatutvam asti va iti samsheha bhavati. Tattu nasti. He deliberately creates the ambiguity which is resolved by the bhashyakara. So to say that it is only when a word is included in the list and it indicates action. So kriyavachinaha bhadayaha. Both of them are required for dhatu samya. Ekam tu bhadigana pathitatvam, dvitiyam kriyavachanatvam. Ubhayohu satve eva dhatutvam. So dhatu is that which is included in the list and indicates action. So if there is a word which indicates action which is not in the list, so there are some avyayas, okay, like hiruk, varjane, etc. So they will not be treated as dhatus. So if there is a word in the list which does not indicate action, then that is also not a dhatu. So that to indicate that indirectly also we use this vagrahanam. Okay. So that was one question. So there is one more. So I believe not all of them, meaning all the dhatus, are found in use. So is there a list of ones that are in actual use? See, when we say use, it need not be directly as kriya padas. There are many dhatus which may not be used as, which may not be in vogue as kriya, as a direct tinantas, but are found in many kridantas which are used. Okay. So I mean, I believe that would be a pretty big project to find out which dhatus are not in use, because you cannot go by current usage. The current usage of dhatus, unfortunately, is very, very limited, because we don't know. We are not the native speakers and we don't use many of the dhatus. We probably use only about 10% of dhatus in our usage. But if you go back to literature and all the Vangmaya of Samskrita, especially as you go back, you will find the use of more and more dhatus. So it would definitely be a huge project to find out which are not in use. See, there is a interesting thing from the Mahabhashya where there is some argument about shabdas which are not in use. So he says aprayogat. There is an Purva Pakshi who says about shabdasya aprayoga. These words are not in use. So the Mahabhashyakara retorts saying Mahan Shabdasya Prayoga Vishayaha. So the usage of words, the range of usage of words is very vast. There are the 4 Vedas, there Upavedas, there is Vako Vakyam, Itihasaha, Puranam, etc. Have you seen all of them? How can you declare any word to be not in use? That is how the Bhashyakara asks. So I mean, if the Bhashyakara says that, it will be the same. It is easy to say if the word is in use. I mean, if you find one example, you can say that it is in use. But to say that it is not in use, you have to go through, well, everything, all Samskrita Vangmaya, which is, well, a Herculean task, if not impossible. So, but yeah, certainly there is a thing that there are certain popular dhatus and certain dhatus which are rare. But I don't know of any list so far. Maybe as you go through the class, one of you or maybe a few of you can come together to make a list of the popular or the common dhatus. Okay. So any other questions? So ete औपदेशिकाः अथवा अप्रत्ययान्ताः धातवः भूवादयो धातवः इत्यनेन धातुसंज्ञां प्राप्नुवन्ति. धातुसंज्ञाविधायकम् अपरमपि सूत्रमस्ति सनाद्यन्ता धातवः इति. तृतीयाध्याये प्रथमपादे 32तमम् इदं सूत्रम्. सनाद्यन्ताः धातवः इति पदद्वयम्. सनाद्यन्ताः iti prathama bahuvachanam dhatavah ityapि. So this is the second sutra which defines a dhatu. Dvadasha pratyayah santi. San, kyach, kamyach, kyang, kvip, kyash, ning, nich, yang, yak, aya, iyang. Iti dvadasha pratyayah santi. Etadantaha, sanadi antaha. So those words which end with any of these pratyayas are also called as dhatus. Okay. Sannantaha dhatavaha, kyajantaha dhatavaha, kamyajantaha dhatavaha, etc. Okay. So these pratyayas have been given in the range 315 to 3131. So if you can open the Ashtadhyayi, Ravichandraji, can you please open the Ashtadhyayi file? Okay. So if you can see here, Guptij Kidbhyasan. Okay. So as you come down and look at the list of the pratyayas here from this 315. So there is sun, kyach, kamyach, kyang, etc. So as you come down from this till the sanadyanta dhatavaha, so whatever you have are the sanadi pratyayas. Right? So you have the sanadyanta dhatavaha at the end of it. So from 315 to 3131, he defines pratyayas. So as you can see, it is the pratyayadhikara. The big red one is the pratyayadhikara from 311 till the end of the 5th chapter. Okay, so these are all pratyayas which are added. So anything which ends with these pratyayas is also called a dhatu. So sanadyantaha dhatavaha. So these are 12 pratyayas which lead to the formation of dhatus. Etesham atideshikaha dhatavaha iti nama. So aupadeshikaha upadeshena ye dhatavaha te aupadeshikaha atideshena nama lakshanena. So they are secondary dhatus, dhatus which are derived from some other word. So they are called atideshikaha athava pratyayantaha dhatavaha. Some of these are derived from pratipadikas. Okay, like say putram atmanaha ichhati, putriyati. Okay, it is a kyach. Okay, putra iti pratipadika nishpannaha putriya iti dhatu. Those dhatus which are derived from namapadas are called as the nama dhatus. So there are some which are derived from the primary dhatus, like sand, pathitum ichhati, pipatishati. Tatra path iti aupadeshikaha dhatuh, pipatisha iti sannantaha atideshikaha dhatuh. So these pratyayas, some of them are on dhatus, some on pratipadikas. Okay. Together they form the second set of dhatus. Okay. You cannot actually count the number of dhatus which are derived this way. Okay. Because there are some like quip, sarva pratipadikebhyaha quip vaktavyaha, which can be added to any pratipadika. Okay, and things like sun can be added to any dhatu. So the number of sannantas cannot be, it cannot even be estimated, I guess. Especially the nama dhatus, so they cannot be estimated. So there is a huge number of the sanadyanta dhatavaha and about 2000 primary dhatus. So examples of sanadaya, pipatisha iti sannantaha. The sa there is the sun. Putriya is a kyajanta. Kyach is a pratyaya there. Putra kamyati. Putra kamya. Kamyach is a pratyaya. So there are many such pratyayas. Right? So ete api dhatavaha. Bhuvadayo dhatavaha. Sanadyantaha dhatavaha. All these dhatus will have a common set of pratyayas which are added to them. So dhatu rupani. Dhatu rupam nama kim? Ekasya dhatoh yatha bhu iti ekah dhatoh asti tasya bahuni rupani sambhavati. Bhavati, abhavat, bhavishyati, bhavatu, bhavet ityadayah. Tesham arthaha api bhidyanti. Ataha व्यवहारे तु धातुरूपाणामेव प्रयोगः न तु स्वतन्त्रतया धातूनां केवलस्य धातोः प्रयोगः न भवति. We don't use just root words. पदस्यैव प्रयोगः. पदं नाम किं? सुप् तिङन्तं पदं. सुबन्तं तिङन्तं च पदसंज्ञं स्यात्. So just a dhatu cannot be used. We use a dhatu rupa. So dhatu rupa is derived by adding a pratyaya to a dhatu. धातोः द्वेधा प्रत्ययाः सम्भवन्ति. तिङ् प्रत्ययः तथा कृत् प्रत्ययः. So these are two sets of pratyayas which are added to dhatus. Okay? Ting iti kechana pratyayah, krit iti kechana pratyayah. So ting pratyayah यदा धातुभ्यः योज्यन्ते तदा तिङन्ताः निष्पाद्यन्ते. कृत् प्रत्ययाः यदा योज्यन्ते तदा कृदन्ताः निष्पाद्यन्ते. So tingantas and kridantas are the words which are derived from dhatus. So tingantas are ready to use. Tingantasya padatvam asti ityatah sakshat upayogah kartum shakyate tingantasya. यथा पठति अपठत् पठिष्यति इत्यादयः सर्वेपि तिङन्ताः. कृदन्तानां तु साक्षात् प्रयोगः न भवति. You cannot directly use the kridanta because it is not a word. Okay? कृदन्ताः सर्वेपि कृत्तद्धितसमासाश्च इत्यनेन प्रातिपदिकसंज्ञां प्राप्नुवन्ति. So dhatu becomes krit, kridanta. So a kridanta is now a pratipadika. So on a kridanta we add the sup pratyayas to make it subantas. So kridantas cannot be used directly. They are used as subantas later. Say for example you have say ram iti dhatuh. Ram dhatoh ramante yoginah asmin ityarte ghai iti pratyayah yojyate. Saha krit pratyayah. राम इति कृदन्तम्. इदानीम् अस्य प्रातिपदिकसंज्ञा अस्ति. सुप् प्रत्यययोजिते रामः रामो रामाः इत्यादि शब्दरूपाणि प्रयुज्यन्ते. So kridantas are what we call the primary participles from the dhatus. So dhatoh द्वेधा प्रत्ययाः, तिङ् प्रत्ययाः तथा कृत् प्रत्ययाः. धातोः यदि अष्टाध्यायीं पश्यामः तत्र धात्वधिकारः अस्ति. सो धात्वधिकारद्वयं द्रष्टुं शक्यते अष्टाध्याय्यां. प्रथमः धात्वधिकारः तृतीयाध्यायस्य प्रथमपादे 22तमसूत्रादारभ्य प्रथमपादे 90तमसूत्रपर्यन्तं गच्छति. So the second धात्वधिकारः, द्वितीयः धात्वधिकारः तृतीयाध्याये प्रथमपादे 91तमसूत्रादारभ्य तृतीयाध्याये चतुर्थपादस्य अन्तपर्यन्तं गच्छति. So if you see here, तृतीयाध्याये प्रथमपादे प्रत्ययाः आरभ्यन्ते. तत्र आदौ सनादयः प्रत्ययाः सन्ति. तेषु केचन प्रातिपदिकेभ्यः अपि विधीयन्ते. That is why the Dhatvadhikara does not start till 22. From 315, where he starts sun, till 3121. There are pratyayas which are added to both dhatus and pratipadikas. So from 3122 till 3190. So dhatoh karmana samana kartrikadetu धात्वधिकारः आरभ्यते. ततः आरभ्य 3190 एतत् पर्यन्तं प्रथमः धात्वधिकारः. ततः पुनः धातोः इत्यधिकारः. तत्र द्वितीयः धात्वधिकारः. So there is a purpose of why there are two different dhatodhikaras. So we will see that sometime later. But basically, most of the pratyayas which have been given in the third chapter, अष्टाध्याय्यां तृतीयाध्याये प्रायेण धातुभ्यः एव प्रत्ययाः विधीयन्ते. All pratyayas which are added to dhatus, both ting and krit, can be found in the third chapter of the अष्टाध्यायी. तृतीयाध्याये प्रथमपादादारभ्य चतुर्थपादपर्यन्तं धातुभ्यः विहिताः प्रत्ययाः दृश्यन्ते. अस्मिन् वर्गे तु वयं केवलं तिङन्तानाम् अध्ययनं कुर्मः. कृदन्ताः तु भिन्नाः. The majority of the pratyayas are krit. Okay, because the ting pratyayas it's just 18. Okay, there is one sutra which gives ting. So there are a few more sutras which are the vikarana pratyayas. Other than those, all pratyayas are krit pratyayas. Okay. So the study of kridantas is a different thing. Any questions so far? So धातुः प्रकृतिः धातोः परतः लकाराः विधीयन्ते दशलकाराः बहु प्रसिद्धाः लट् लिट् लुट् लृट् लेट् लोट् लङ् लिङ् lung and lung. These are the 10 lakaras. These are all pratyayas. Ete sarvepi dhatubhyah vihitaah pratyayah. Sarvatra lakarah asti ityatah tesham lakarah iti nama. They are called lakaras because of the l, which is a common factor in all of them. So in all lakaras, the ending letter atra takarah atra lakarah तस्य हलन्त्यम् इत्यनेन इत्संज्ञा भवति यः स्वरः अस्ति अ इ उ इत्यादि तस्यापि उपदेशे अजनुनासिक इत्यनेन इत्संज्ञा भवति अतः सर्वेषु प्रत्ययेषु लकारमात्रं शिष्यते. Okay, so the lakara which remains after we remove the it is just a marker, as an identifier. So the krama of lakaras which is given here is alphabetical, which is say there is first there is all takara. So in that there is a, I, U, R, A, O. Similarly, when you come to makara, a, I, U, R. So that is the popular and the easy way of remembering the lakaras. Lat, lit, lut, lit. It is lrit. That is the lakara with rikara, guditakshara, not the lit. It is not a swara. L. It is L, Vyanjana with Rikara. Lrit, Late, Lot, Lang, Ling, Lung, Lrung. These are the 10 lakaras. Tatra late iti lakarasya Vedeshu eva prayogah drishyate. Found only in the Vedas. Loke tu ling lakarasya prabhedadvayam asti vidhiling tatha ashirling. Ataha loke api dashalakaraha. So in loka, when we list the lakaras, we use lat, lit, lut, lrit, lot, lang, vidhiling, ashirling, lung, lung. Tathapi dashalakaraha ityeva vyavastha. Ete lakaraha kada bhavanti iti gyatu eka karika asti. Lat vartamane. Vartamana kale. To indicate present tense, we have lat. लेट वेदे वर्तमानार्थे अन्येषु अर्थेषु वेदे लेट लकारः उपयुज्यते. भूते लुङ् लङ् लिटस्तथा. So in bhutakala you have lung, lang and lit, 3 lakaras. Vidhyashishostu ling lotau. The ling lakara and lot lakara are both used in the sense of vidhi and ashihi. Okay, we will understand the meanings of vidhi and ashihi later. Generally, it means an order or request, and ashihi is desire for something. Vidhyashishostu lutau, lut, lrit, lrun cha bhavishyati. So there is 3 lakaras for bhavishyat, lut, lrit and lrun. So it's actually lut and lrit for bhavishyat kala, whereas lrun is used in a very special sense, which we will see later. So this is just a karika which generally sums up the meanings of the lakaras. So if you look at the lakaras again, there are 2 ways we can divide them. Kalavachakaha lakaraha santi, tatha bhavavachakaha lakaraha. So in English, if you have to translate lakara, it is not just tense. Okay, we have the common thing of the tense, the present, past and future in English. But a lakara is not just tense. There are 6 lakaras which are used as tenses. That is, which indicate kala. Yatha lat lakaraha vartamana kalam suchayati. Lit, lang, lung ete trayah lakaraha bhutakalartham suchayanti. Lut, lrit iti dvau lakarau bhavishyat kalam suchayanti. So these are the kalavachaka lakaras. So late is used as vartamana. It is also used as a bhavavachaka. So that is a Vedic lakara, so it's a special thing. Coming to the other lakaras, they do not indicate time as pradhana. Okay, it is not kala which is pradhana there, but bhava as in some emotion or mood. Say lot and vithiling, they convey the sense of order or request. Ashirling conveys a sense of desire for something, and ring, it conveys a sense of kriyatipatti. There is like a cause and effect relationship is conveyed by drin. So kalavachakaha kechana lakaraha, bhavavachakaha kechana lakaraha. So this is one way of dividing. The first way is the tit and git. Okay. So there are lakaras which have takara as it samya, and there are those which have git. So tit and git are the two divisions, and then according to their meaning you can take them as kalavachakas and bhavavachakas. But the Prakriya-Upayogi division of lakaras divides them into two as sarvadhatuka lakaraha तथा अर्धधातुक लकाराः. प्रक्रिया दृष्ट्या लकाराः सार्वधातुक लकाराः तथा अर्धधातुक लकाराः इति विभज्यन्ते. तत्र लट् लोट् लङ् विधिलिङ् तथा लेट् इति पञ्च सार्वधातुक लकाराः. So in this you have the द्वादश लकाराः. दश लकाराः मूलतः. तत्र लेट् लकारस्य प्रभेदद्वयम् अस्ति तथा लिङ् लकारस्य प्रभेदद्वयम्. Okay. So because of it there are 12 lakaras when we look at the prakriya part of it. Lat, lot, lang, vidhiling तथा सार्वधातुक लेट् एते पञ्चलकाराः एकस्मिन् खण्डे सन्ति. So अन्ये लकाराः लिट् लुट् लृट् आशीर्लिङ् लुङ् लृङ् तथा अर्धधातुक लेट्. एते सप्तलकाराः अर्धधातुकलकाराः. सार्वधातुकम् अर्धधातुकम् इति संज्ञा. Okay, we will see those samyas later. For now, just make this division very clear, very important. 5 lakaras are sarvadhatuka lakaras, the rest 7 are ardhadhatuka lakaras. Lat, lot, lang, vidhiling and sarvadhatuka let तथा लिट् लुट् लृट् आशीर्लिङ् लुङ्